Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a fabulous looking Lexus CT200. This is the facelift model F Sport car, finished in this lovely grey with a full black leather interior. Just 55,000 miles and a full Lexus service history on this car, which we know well because we sold it to the last owner. So it's lovely to have it back. I always love to have our own cars back. So a bit of a busman's holiday this one. Going around the car for you. Front of the car, new style front end, looks fantastic on the cars. Really clean, lights and lenses clear and intact, no cracks or condensation. Bonnet extremely clean, no obvious stone chips on there. Near side absolutely beautiful, and panel work, no car parking dinks that jump out. It's just been washed off, not been polished, but it's got a very kind of natural gleam to the car, which it had when it went to him. He's kept it in exactly the same condition, so much so we haven't even cleaned the inside, by the way, for this video, which is a rarity for me because I always do. But he's kept it so nicely, almost pointless. It will be cleaned, but very little needs doing. Come around the back, all clean again. Offside again, beautifully smooth, and the panels are absolutely crisp. Externally, the car is now cracking us out. It's 8 years old, I guess, in fabulous condition. Coming to the boot area, good sized boot, as you'd expect of a Lexus, beautifully finished. Coming to the back of the car, full black leather interior, kept in absolutely beautiful condition. Just before I go any further, just a reminder, if you haven't already seen it, this car's fitted with a cat lock underneath, which also protects the catalyst from theft. Front of the car, again, really clean and tidy. Passenger seat, fabulous condition there. Finally coming to the front, door card again, nice and clean. Footwell areas, the carpets will be cleaned, by the way, so don't think they're going to remain like that. They're very clean, but just going to give them a proper shampoo, but beautiful condition. So inside the car now, what an absolutely gorgeous interior. Engine running, so dashboard can be seen illuminated. Sat nav, you can see working exactly as it should. And come down this fantastic centre console, all been kept beautifully. Over to the dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 55,608 miles, no warning lights on the dash. In econ and normal mode, that's the view you get. Twist it to the right to put it into sport mode, you get the red backlighting, rev counter. I think you can configure it in different ways, but that's how they always seem to be set up for me. But it's been kept beautifully. Again, electric memory seats on this particular car as well. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the F Sport model. Car's registered PO15JUW. Mileage at the start of the road test, 55,608 miles. The reason for all of our videos, and I always say it, but especially this part, the road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's looking at the cars we advertise online, they get to see the very car in operation. Reason being is that, like loads of people have been to see cars which have looked perfectly good in photographs or description, and only to get there and find out there's an obvious fault that shows up. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, with the hope being that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know from the walk around section and the advert, this is a car we sold to a gentleman before, so we know it very well. It's a lovely car, fully serviced by Lexus all the way through, been kept in beautiful condition and drives beautifully. Press the power button, whirs silently into life. These are, what's commonly referred to these days as a self-charging hybrid. What that means in essence, you don't have to charge it up, so you're going to run low on fuel, put fuel in the car and be on your way in a couple of minutes. No charging up, can't run out of battery, can't leave you stranded. All its recharging is done when you back off the throttle or apply the brake pedal, so it replenishes the battery as you're driving. It's absolutely brilliant, and the way it works is just engineering genius. It's all but seamless, because it uses engine, hybrid, CVT gearbox, all of which give you no kind of clunks or engagements as such. It's just wonderfully engineered, and in practice it's one of the smoothest ways to drive a car. It's an amazing experience, actually. You're also given 3 modes for the driving: eco, normal and sport, which you control by this little knob down here. Generally I owned loads of these and I love them. I generally drive it in normal most of the time, but occasionally flick it into sport mode. I only use eco in town driving because I find it too slow otherwise. But when you do put it into sport mode, it's noticeably keener and quicker to pick up and go. But as I said, fabulous powertrain, it really is. There are, by the way, absolutely no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any part of the car. And temperature gauge doesn't have one, of course. Why do I say temperature gauge? It's got a light on these things that illuminates should it get hot, so ignore what I've just said. Engine, obviously, then, as I said, feeds into the gearbox, which is CVT, which is fantastic because it's so smooth. It is different, but don't believe some of these road testers that, when they get in, they shove their foot down, they get the engine to rev up, and they say, "Oh, listen to that." No, when you drive them, as most ordinary human beings do, it's one of the most joyful cars to drive. It's so smooth, especially when manoeuvring around. It just makes most cars in its class seem really clunky and cumbersome. This is beautiful. What you can do and what they're referring to, because CVT allows the revs to go up, but it tries to get the car to run in as the lowest revs possible at all times to save fuel. But if I was going to overtake, shove my foot down, engine revs pick up, you're going to catch up with it, or you back off the throttle when you got up to speed. And it's only fleeting, and it's exactly what it's designed to do, and it's brilliant in the way it does it. And obviously all working absolutely perfectly. Steering chassis of the car, not what you'd expect of a Lexus, because normally you think of Lexus as being, these cosseting, smooth luxury barges, which they are. They're fantastic. This actually has a real get up and go kind of vigor to the chassis. Steering is beautifully weighted. As I say in all the CT videos, I like the car because it's got a really positive front end. So when you turn, it's quite dynamic. The car wants to go. It's keen to change direction. It still rides very comfortably. It's very well judged ride. It is a sporty car, so it's firmer than some of their more softly sprung cars. But personally, I like it. Only sort of sharper ridges tend to catch it out, as they generally do any car. There are, by the way, no clonks, rattles underneath the suspension at all. Steering track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the limit either. But it loves corners. All sorts of roads, the tight B roads, A, sweeping bends. It's a really enjoyable car to drive. Brakes on the car, absolutely fantastic. There's no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, all in very, very fine order. And then finally coming inside, which is one of the best interiors you'll ever sit in. And I've said in pretty much every video for them, I always struggle to explain what I mean by that. First and foremost, you're met by a very obvious high quality interior. It's beautifully put together. No squeaks, no rattles, lovely material choices. But there's something about it that makes you feel very special, because you do feel in the car. Quite often when you read sort of marketing blurb and brochures, they talk about cockpit feels, that kind of stuff, and it's utter garbage. It's just marketing tosh. But this really does. You feel very much part of the vehicle in it. Maybe because this is a bit higher than some cars, but it's just the whole feel of the dash, the way it all comes together. But it works brilliantly. You've got sat nav up there working beautifully, high up display, so it's easy to keep your eye on it. Dual zone climate control system, which can be separate from the screen above, which is an absolute must in my opinion. I can't stand it when they don't, and that works perfectly, blowing out cold air. We tried it at a nice warm workshop earlier on. all of the switch gears you'd expect of any high quality Japanese car. It's beautifully damped, lovely high quality controls. And then down below here, it's just something about the detailing of the switch gear, the labelling. It just reminds me, always has done, of a really high quality kind of a hi-fi system from years gone by, which were just looked expensive and felt expensive, and this does. And then you've got this wonderful dash binnacle in front, which is minimalist in its information. Beautiful detailing on the gauges, which is just so pleasing on the eye. It really is, it's quite a special car. Everyone that drives them, everyone that gets in them, that I've met at least up to this point, it has all felt the same about the car. It's something that makes you feel, I don't know, just quite sort of happy about being in the car and driving it. Whereas lots of cars, perfectly good as they are, just feel more like an appliance. They're just a method to get you from A to B with, no drama, no sense of occasion about them. Whereas this is the opposite. As I said at the start of the video, it's to pick up on any issues. There's none. It drives absolutely perfectly. It's a wonderful example of a truly fine car.